Hi everybody, this is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make this simplest version of a pasta salad you're ever going to find. And this is the way I made it when I had my bakery bistro, and it just really can't get any easier. This is one of those dishes where you really don't need a recipe. This is something that you make your way easily with what you have on hand. I'm making a small amount to start with here because it's mostly for me, not to be eaten all at one time for sure. I started with 1.5 cups of spiral pasta and I just cooked it, ran it under some cold water to cool it down, and that's what we've got right here. Then you want to use what vegetables you have on hand that you want to use up. They can be fresh, or they can be frozen vegetables that you've run under cold water to thaw out. Now what I have is some finely diced carrot. These were like 2 or 3 baby carrots that I just cut up. And I've got about 6 grape tomatoes that I've cut in half. And I've got about a dozen or so sugar snap peas. I cut the ends off of them and then cut them in half. I have a scallion that I've cut up. This was kind of a large scallion, so I didn't cut the entire thing. And then I have about 1/2 of a cucumber here. And again, you could use frozen and cooked vegetables, or even just frozen and thawed, like a California mix would work really well. You don't have to have sugar snap peas. You could take peas from the freezer and just thaw them out and use them in here. But you see, it gives a colorful blend, and it could be also chopped broccoli, cauliflower, cooked or raw, however you want it, whatever you have that you want to use up. Now you want to put some dressing on there. I can't help it, I'm partial to vinaigrettes. I grew up with them, and that's really my favorite type of dressing. So when I had this dish in the bakery bistro, I would use a bottled Italian dressing that I happen to like. You can use literally any dressing on this, your favorite dressing, as long as it's not overly thick. If it's a really thick, like an avocado-based dressing, you really need to thin it out with either some juice or water or milk of choice, something so it will nicely coat the vegetables and the components of the salad without being overly thick and gloppy. So I like the vinaigrettes. You could use a ranch, something like that, or even a French dressing, whatever is your favorite. A honey mustard would work. So now I'm going to put together a dressing. I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Now, considering the amount of pasta and so forth, I'm going to move that up to 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. You need enough to coat it with. And then I'm going to go with 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar. And I have a fresh lemon here, and I'm cutting off a hefty wedge. I'm going to squeeze that in there. So we have a little bit of vinegar, we have a little bit of lemon juice in here. So we have some acid to go along with that oil. Then I want a little bit of an emulsifier that will help to blend the oil with the vinegar. And I'm going to squeeze a little bit of mustard in here. Not a whole lot. That was probably about a 1/2 teaspoon. Now I'm going to add some herbs in here. I'm going to go with 1/2 teaspoon of dried parsley flakes, 1/4 teaspoon of dried basil. I'm going to use about 1/8 teaspoon of dried oregano. You can always add more if we want. And we're going to add just a little bit of garlic powder, 1/8 teaspoon. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of salt. This is about 1/8 teaspoon of salt there. Now I'm just going to mix this together. You could also add a pinch of sugar to this if you want. Most bottled dressings are going to have a little bit of sugar in it. And then once you mix in your dressing of choice, you want to cover it up, put that salad in the refrigerator, and allow it to sit for at least an hour before you serve it. Allow those flavors to blend. Now we're just going to give this a little toss. It's not overwhelming in the dressing. You don't need that. You want the flavor of your components there to shine through, but you do want to give them a little bit of flavor. And you can see that's basically what I'm doing. Giving it some flavor, and then we're going to put this in the refrigerator and allow it to chill and the flavors to blend some. Well, this really is an easy salad to put together when you need something in a hurry and you just want to grab what you have on hand. I do hope this helps you out. The recipe is below. This is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. Bye for now.